Welcome to BioSlim. In this videotape, we'll show you everything you need to know about how this breakthrough system works. You'll see exactly what to do and when to do it. Soon, you'll be able to get immediately started on your way to ultimate success with BioSlim.
Picture yourself losing 15, 30, 50, 150 pounds or more. Imagine being free from cravings and endless dieting. With BioSlim, you'll forget forever feeling bad about your own body. You'll be free forever from endless exercising, and you'll stop forever counting calories or grams of fat. Now, here's our promise to you. You will lose all your unwanted weight and all your extra inches with BioSlim, the ultimate weight loss breakthrough. How does it work? At the heart of the BioSlim system are the remarkable Slim Tone formula and VM Plus. These formulas are the secret force behind BioSlim. You simply take these all-natural formulas each day as directed and follow the basic program. It's that easy. The BioSlim system will give your body exactly what it needs at the level it needs to optimize your metabolism and lose all your unwanted weight. There's no dieting, no powders or shakes, and no special foods to buy. It's all so easy. And as you lose weight, you'll be feeling great as your health and energy levels dramatically improve.
Gotta try this product. You have nothing to lose. It is, for me, it has been a miracle.
It is absolutely wonderful. It's a miracle.
We want 100% of the people who use this program to succeed. I mean, I take it personally. I want everybody to succeed under this program.
To get the most out of this videotape, look for the listing of subjects in the table of contents on the back of this cover. Each subject is numbered, and these numbers correspond to the numbers appearing in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Anytime you want to look up a specific subject, simply move the tape with your VCR in fast play mode and look for the on-screen number you wish to view. It's all very simple and convenient. And now, here's Dr. Josh Leichtberg, developer of the BioSlim system, to start you on your way to ultimate success.
Hello, I'm Dr. Leichtberg, and I'm here to be your guide through the BioSlim system. One of our most important goals with BioSlim was to keep every part of it as simple and easy to maintain as possible. Now, you should know that everything in BioSlim is designed to fit easily into your life, so you will have no trouble continuing your success forever. The one exception has to do with what we call Super BioSlim, which is for special, more difficult cases and is designed to be used only for a limited time. And we'll get back into that in a little while. But the rest of the program is designed to be permanent. For now, the key point to remember is that everything about BioSlim needs to come easily for you. You need to be comfortable and happy with what you're doing because we know that that's the only way to reach your goals and to make them permanent. It is remarkable what you can accomplish if you dive in right now and do everything this program recommends. Remember, BioSlim will work for virtually everyone because it covers so many different possible cases. If you think, for example, that you may have, say, a hormonal problem, we'll show you exactly what to do about it. Or if you're a especially difficult case with lots of trouble losing weight in the past, we have Super BioSlim and lots of other ways to increase the power of the program as needed. So I urge you to do this program and keep doing it till you get what you want. Remember that BioSlim will work for virtually anyone. So this is it. This is the time to get the job done once and for all. Let's begin by talking about the supplements. There are two of them, Vitamin Plus and Slim Tone Formula. They're both important and they're each used in slightly different ways. The Vitamin Plus product is a specially designed, super effective formula that should always be taken with food. That's very important. Vitamin Plus is normally taken at a rate of 4 to 6 tablets per day, usually broken up so that you take 2 or 3 tablets with each of 2 or 3 meals. So for example, you could take 2 or 3 pills with breakfast and lunch, and that should do it. Your positive reactions will include a sense of well-being and increased energy and vitality. Now, the Slim Tone formula is the real heart of the system. It's made with a very special, absolutely unique blend of nutrients that took years to perfect. These tablets are best taken before meals, usually about 20 or 30 minutes before each meal. If you forget, you may take them with or after your meal. The total dose is usually 6 tablets per day. Again, this is broken up into 2 or better yet 3 separate doses, usually just before each of your meals, 2 at a time. So 2 tablets a day, 3 times a day, makes for a total of 6 tablets. Some people find that they do fine on as little as 3 tablets a day, while others may want to go as high as 9. It's all very much up to each individual's needs. Remember that everyone is different and everyone has different metabolic needs. You should adjust your dose of Slim Tone to how you react, how you feel. For example, if you've got plenty of energy and your appetite is well controlled and you're losing weight on only 3 tablets a day, great, keep it up. If you're on 6 tablets a day but you still feel like you need more oomph, more power, you can gradually increase the dose until you see a difference. Of course, at the same time, you should be being careful to follow all the BioSlim principles because you always want to maximize your success, of course. We'll talk more about those principles in a little while. Remember that it's best to take the Slim Tone tabs with lots of water, at least a full glass of it. And in general, you should drink lots of water every day. Finally, let me say that of all the weight loss products you can buy, BioSlim is the most healthful, the most natural, and the most permanently effective. If you were to take products with caffeine and ephedra, also known as mahuang, or some diet drug, whether it's over-the-counter or by prescription, you will surely get a zingy kind of hyper feeling almost immediately. That's because those products are really dangerously stimulating your body in a way that's both artificial and necessarily very temporary. Studies have found that the effects of these products can be quite dangerous. Unlike BioSlim, they are not designed to create a safe, permanent change. You don't want to take something too radical because, number one, it won't last, and number two, it could do you some harm. It's much better to stick to something that's natural, that's safe, and highly effective, which is exactly what BioSlim is.
Everything your body needs is covered in the BioSlim system, and you should discontinue any multivitamin supplement you may have been on prior to BioSlim. But if you wish to continue taking certain individual vitamins or minerals, such as vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B12, essential fatty acids, calcium, or magnesium, that is generally okay. This is entirely up to you and will not change the effectiveness of the program.
Now let's talk about what to eat and what not to eat. Remember, you don't have to follow all of our recommendations here, but I would urge that you do because it will definitely maximize your rate of success. Remember that with BioSlim, you always eat real food. There are no powders, there are no shakes, no special drinks, nothing that is not real. Of course, that does cut both ways. You should also avoid as much as possible any other non-real so-called food, like, for example, potato chips, margarine, oil, regular ice cream, French fries, and on and on. There is a lot of really bad, toxic so-called food out there that just doesn't qualify for the word food. Remember, you should be eating real food. Now, as you know, there's no calorie counting, there's no fat gram counting in this program at all. There's no calorie counting, no fat gram counting. We realize that those things are the hallmarks of what is considered dieting. And it's important that you not consider yourself to be on a diet. Now, in a moment, we'll review the basic principles of your BioSlim food plan. But please remember this, every single food that we advise you to avoid is bad for you. Not just because it will make you heavier, but because it will damage your health and cause you great harm in many, many ways. Believe it. Everything in this program is designed to make you feel better, look better, and even live longer. If you follow this program, you will be healthier, and you will lose lots and lots of weight, as much as you want to lose. So now, here's the first, possibly most important rule of BioSlim. You should absolutely always avoid added fats and oils. That is, you should never add fat or oil to your food, and don't eat anything to which other people have added fat or oil. Now that is very different from anything you've heard before, and it's different in a very important way. You do not have to count calories or fat grams, as we said earlier. There's none of that in this program. You only have to avoid fat and oil that's added to food, not necessarily the fat that's in natural food. And let me tell you why. Nature does not make fat or oil. There's no such thing in nature. Oh, sure, there's plenty of fat and oil that's present in foods that we eat every day. But pure fat and pure oil simply doesn't exist. It takes humans to come along and extract oil and fat from real food. They process it, they package it, and then they sell it to us as if it were something edible. Pure oil or pure fat is strictly artificial in that sense. It's always unnatural and always bad for you. It is the added fats and oils, and yes, I'm talking about saturated as well as unsaturated oils here. In fact, unsaturated oils like margarine and canola oil may be even worse than saturated ones, but it is the added fats and oils that are the culprits in causing cancer, heart disease, and many of the other serious and chronic diseases that we suffer with today, especially the state of being overweight. There are several reasons why this is all true, and they're all fully explained in this reference guide that we talked about earlier. But what you need to know is that eating added fats and oils will significantly worsen your weight problem, and it'll greatly increase your risk of getting things like cancer of the breast, colon, uterus, and prostate, as well as heart disease. So if you do nothing else with the way you eat, you've got to do yourself this one favor. Follow the BioSlim program as closely as possible, and above all, remember to avoid all added fats and oils as much as possible. Now, what does that include? Well, it includes things like oil, margarine, butter, mayonnaise, fried foods, ice cream that's high in fat, high-fat cheese, creamy cakes, most salad dressings if they're made with oil, and on and on. There are many such foods. It's easy to know what contains added fats or oils, even if you didn't actually prepare the food. It's all on the label under ingredients. If you see the word oil or fat in the ingredients label, forget it. Move on to something else. Keep in mind that all this does not mean that you have to avoid things like eggs or meat or other food that has some natural fat in it. Remember, under BioSlim, it's the added fats we're talking about and the ones that you need to avoid, not the fats and the oils that nature has built into certain foods. And by the way, reading labels is a very important habit to get into. You've got to know what's going into your body, and the only way is to read labels carefully. Now, just one more thing. There are some very delicious alternatives to those oily salad dressings that you may be used to eating. Check out this cookbook that came with your package. It contains a whole list of alternative salad dressings. And while you're at it, there are many, many other very delicious ideas in here, all of them healthful and all made without added fats or oils. You should have a lot of fun with this cookbook. Now, the second basic rule is a more general one. It's that you should strive whenever possible to eat real, recognizable food. By that I mean eat food that you can tell where it came from. Basically, you can tell where a vegetable is, or what it is and where it came from. And you can say the same thing about most meat. If you can't do that with any food you're thinking about eating, you should think twice about eating it. It means that it's time to read and check the label carefully. You want to know what's going into your body at all times. That's the only way to stay healthy and keep your weight under control. You got to know what's going into your body. So try to avoid things like high-fat hot dogs, candy, and other sweets, white bread, high-sugar breakfast cereals, and anything else that is just too artificial. For each of these items, there is a healthful and delicious alternative that won't contribute to your weight or to your ill health. For example, instead of a hot dog, how about a plain lean meat hamburger without mayonnaise and without cheese, or, for example, a fat-free hot dog, a frankfurter. Instead of candy or other sweets, have a piece of fruit or a melon. Instead of white bread or white flour pasta, have some whole grain bread or some brown rice. And instead of high-sugar breakfast cereal, you could have an egg or some oatmeal. All these things are excellent alternatives to otherwise highly damaging foods.
BioSlim strongly recommends that you eat in correct balance. Try to eat by weight or by volume, approximately as much protein food as you do high carbohydrate food. Protein food includes such things as lean meat or fat-free deli slices, eggs, especially egg whites, which can be eaten endlessly and are pure protein, plus low-fat fish, soy products, spirulina, the single best food you can eat, and low-fat dairy products. Carbohydrate foods include all bread, pasta, and all other flour or grain products, plus sugar of any kind, and potato, corn, banana, carrot, and fruit juices. Note that fruit juices are very high in sugar and are best diluted 50-50 with water. This correct balance of protein to carbohydrate foods will aid your body in achieving the metabolic balance it needs to normalize itself. And about fat, you need not overly concern yourself. all you need to do regarding fats is to avoid all added fats and oils, as explained earlier. That is a must.
Okay, enough with the don'ts. Here's what you should be eating. The food group you can eat to your heart's content and should eat to your heart's content is vegetables, especially the green kind. You can literally eat as much as you want here. If you fill up on green vegetables, so much the better. There'll be less room for the other stuff. Besides vegetables, you can also eat plenty of things like beans and peas and whole grains. Of course, not white flour products, please. And eggs. You can eat egg whites as much as you want. There's no limit on it. Plus chicken or turkey. Again, don't fry the chicken or turkey and don't add any oil or fat to it. Plus you can eat fish and other such foods. Now that is a lot of food to choose from, and it gives you a wide array of foods to eat every day. Now as far as drinking goes, it's best to stick to pure water. Try to avoid excessive, undiluted fruit juice. Herbal teas are fine, like peppermint or chamomile, and those high sugar soft drinks, Cokes and whatnot, you really should avoid. And again, check the food guide and cookbook, that's this book here, that came with your package. You'll find a wealth of information here about different foods and how to change any recipe. Any of your favorite recipes can be changed from bad to good. And guess what? The recipes in this book are absolutely delicious, and I'm telling you this from personal experience. These are gourmet quality foods, yet they're all good for you. It's really amazing. It's like eating your cake and having it too.
If you need to add protein to any meal made from recipes in the cookbook in order to achieve the roughly 1-to-1 balance discussed earlier, you can always add some very high, almost pure protein food to your meal, such as fat-free chicken or turkey slices, available in the deli section of your local supermarket, or egg whites, or another food from this list. By the way, both the fat-free deli slices and the egg whites are pure protein and can be eaten at any time and in just about any reasonable amount.
Now, one more thing about water. You should know that many people walk around day after day chronically dehydrated, which is short of water. This is a very common problem, especially for busy people, and it's a very bad thing to do to your body. And yes, it does contribute to being overweight. You should drink at least 7 to 8 full glasses of pure bottled water every single day. And the more you weigh, by the way, the more you should drink. The water will help your body get rid of unwanted toxins, including the byproducts of the burning of fat that is about to start in a pretty intense way in your body as you get going on the BioSlim program.
In the kitchen, the most important thing to remember is to avoid adding oil or fat to your food. The fact is, you can prepare almost any food you like without the use of oil. In a moment, you'll see an example of how this is done, so you can use this information in the preparation of any food you like. And the same applies to baking. Remember, water or juice or milk can usually replace added oil just fine. Now, here is Sherry Klinger to show you, as an example, how to fry onions without using any oil whatsoever.
What you do is you make sure you're using Teflon pans. And I've already pre-cut the ingredients so to save time. But you pour the onions into the Teflon pan, and then you take water. I use bottled water. I think it's healthier, and you pour just enough water to semi-cover the onions. You don't want to boil it, but you want it to cover the bottom and then some. What I did, and let me show you here, was I took the onions and I put just a little bit of water in. It covered the bottom of the pan, and then a little bit more because the water's going to evaporate. And as the water begins to evaporate while you're cooking these, you just add a little bit more. The entire process takes about 5 minutes. When the onions turn glassy, you know they're ready. It's so simple, you won't believe it. It's so simple. I don't know why everybody puts oil in their pasta sauces anyhow, or all of their food.
Please see this fabulous cookbook that came with your complete BioSlim kit for lots more tips and wonderful, healthful recipes.
The best time to eat is during the day. Remember not to skip breakfast, which is a very important meal, and eat a good lunch. Dinner, however, should be small, like a salad or maybe some soup. You can eat more if you must, but it's really best to keep dinner as light as possible. Whatever you do, however, don't eat late at night, especially just before going to bed. Not only does eating before bedtime maximize the addition of fat to your body, making you gain weight like almost nothing else can, it can also hurt the quality of your sleep so you wake up tired and unrefreshed, and it can terribly exacerbate a medical condition known as reflux, which is where food comes back up from your stomach into your food pipe. Altogether, eating late at night is really a very bad idea. You'll do best if you don't eat or drink anything except water or perhaps some tea at any time within 3 or 4 hours or so of bedtime. Okay, so you're on the program, you're doing really well, when all of a sudden you get this uncontrollable urge to eat some ice cream, or a hot dog, or a corn dog, or some greasy French fries, or some egg salad loaded with mayonnaise, or any such junk, and you know what that stuff is. There are many things that you can do about this kind of almost uncontrollable craving, and here are some of them. Number 1, avoid any food triggers you know of. Number 2, make sure you drink plenty of water, because this is very important now. Thirst is often mistaken for hunger. This is much more common than you might think. Many people eat because they're thirsty, not because they're hungry. This goes along with what I said earlier about the problem of chronic dehydration or water shortage that so many people have. The best way to handle this issue is to drink lots and lots of water, especially whenever you get this urge to eat something that you know you shouldn't. Another thing you can do is brush your teeth whenever you get a craving. Many times, a craving is nothing more than a bad taste in your mouth. It may be that all you need to do is just freshen up a little bit. And finally, take a look at this reference guidebook. There are a lot of other easy and often very effective tips in here. You know what? Restaurants are easy. All you have to do is make sure you know what you're being fed and ask for what you know you want. All right, so first of all, try to eat your salads first, eating it with lemon or vinegar or non-fat dressings only. But most important of all, the most important thing about eating in restaurants is don't allow them to feed you what restaurants love to serve, which is food with tons of oil on it. Ask for no added oils. And if you don't get what you want, leave. Find a restaurant that will serve you the kind of food you know that is good for you. Don't take no for an answer. It's your body and it's your money. Do what's right for it. There is always another restaurant if you need it. You certainly don't need to run to a gym every day or buy expensive and possibly dangerous exercise equipment, but you should be as active as possible. The key point here, and this is one of the ways in which BioSlim is designed so that you won't have any trouble in continuing to follow it, the key point is that you should do whatever is in your power to do to increase your level of activity within the way you lead your life now. What I mean is, for example, try to do more walking instead of driving everywhere, like to the store. Or climb some stairs instead of taking the elevator every time. Or how about some gardening or bicycling or even some swimming? In other words, the idea here is do whatever you can within the context of your everyday life to increase your basic level of physical activity. This kind of increased activity is much easier to maintain than, say, going to the gym or working on an exercise machine. Most people simply cannot continue on a regimented program like that for very long. That's why so many exercise-only weight loss plans fail all the time. But physical activity is important, and recognizing that, we've found that activities that become part of your life are easy, very easy, to keep doing and keep maintaining. Remember then, you do not have to work up a sweat or go to the gym all the time in order to get all the benefits of increased activity. Just increase the normal level of activity that is present in your everyday life. In this book, the BioSlim Reference Manual, there is a chapter toward the end that's called Solving Problems, where various possible situations that can come up are addressed. Please refer to that chapter if anything special comes up. And also, don't forget about our hotline. If you can't find your answers in this book, call us. And whatever happens, never, never give up, because this program will work for absolutely everyone who does it right. And I want to point out that BioSlim can work for absolutely everyone, assuming, of course, that there's no underlying medical problem. And even if you suspect you have a medical problem, it's probably covered in this book. For example, thyroid problems, which are very, very common, especially in women. To make sure that your thyroid hormones aren't malfunctioning and causing you to gain weight, you should check this book for the telltale symptoms, and you can find them in the index under thyroid. And you should get a blood test known as TSH. Again, all this is fully explained in this book. Now, as I promised, I want to go over what to do, or at least some of the most important things that you can do if it turns out that you need some extra power in the beginning of your program. Try A, adjusting your Slim Tone and Vitamin Plus dosages, and we talked about those supplements earlier, as directed. And B, try avoiding, in addition to added oils, things like sweet stuff, concentrated carbohydrates, which means white flour products like bread, cakes, and pasta, as well as white rice. And potatoes are also in that group. And finally, you should always consider doing what we call Super BioSlim. There is virtually no one for whom Super BioSlim will not work. Okay, what we call Super BioSlim is again described in the appendix of this reference book. Super BioSlim is simply BioSlim with a much more intensive food plan that's designed to maximally stimulate your body's fat-burning mechanisms. This is done by aggressively eliminating both fat and sugar and concentrated carbohydrates from your diet. And again, it's temporary. If you're a difficult case, this could be the only way to get you started in the right direction. It may be that nothing else will work for you. Don't give up. Super BioSlim will work. It works for everyone. Now, Super BioSlim, as I mentioned, is really not a permanent program. It's designed to get your body started in the right direction. You're supposed to gradually move over to regular BioSlim with its easy and very normal food plan as soon as possible. Usually, this transition starts after about 3 or 4 weeks on Super BioSlim. Meanwhile, this is how Super BioSlim works. You take your supplements in full doses, as we discussed earlier. You avoid all fats and oils, not just the ones that are added to food. Now, that's different from regular BioSlim. And you also avoid bread and other flour products, white rice, and sweets, and potatoes. Those are the things that are different about Super BioSlim as compared to regular BioSlim. Now, you stick to eating very lean meats under Super BioSlim, lots of vegetables, especially the green kind, and lots of egg whites, of which you can eat as much as you want. You can eat non-fat cold cuts or soy meat or low-fat or soy hot dogs and any other kind of high-protein, low-fat food. And don't forget that you need to drink a lot of water. Assuming there's nothing medically wrong in your body, you must lose weight on this program. Once your weight starts to come off, you can stay on Super BioSlim for at least 3 to 4 weeks. Then you begin gradually moving off and moving over into the much easier and much more permanent regular BioSlim plan. In most cases, you'll find a middle ground between the two plans, Super BioSlim and regular BioSlim, that you feel comfortable with and that works best for you. There is a long chapter in this book called Medical Considerations. All the most common possible medical conditions are listed here, along with specific recommendations about how BioSlim works under each of those conditions. In most cases, BioSlim will help improve matters in a very easy, very natural way. Practically everything is covered here, like heart disease, diabetes, asthma, skin conditions, headaches, even PMS, you name it, it's all in this book. Just use the index in the back of the book to find any specific subject you want. In general, you should know that BioSlim is the most natural and the safest possible way for anyone to lose weight and get healthier. There is usually no medical reason that can stop you from doing the BioSlim program. And if, for example, your doctor is concerned about going on a diet, which is a good concern, you should explain to him or her that this is not a diet. It was designed by me, and I'm an actively practicing internist with thousands of patients. It was designed by me to improve health and reduce weight. But in the vast majority of cases, there is no problem whatsoever going on BioSlim. If your doctor wants to know more about BioSlim, show him or her this book, the reference guide, as well as any of the rest of the package that he or she wants to see. Remember, if losing weight is what you need and want to do, you could not have chosen a safer or more effective way to do it than BioSlim. If you have a special question or situation that you don't know what to do about, and it's not covered in this book, here's what you do. You call us, and the number to call is printed on the letter from me that's in your BioSlim package. So now we're done. You've seen and heard how this program works. If you want to know more, check out the reference book, check out this amazingly terrific food preparation guide and cookbook, and this activity plan. And please remember, we've done years of research to create the best weight loss program ever. It's the only way to lose weight permanently and healthfully. With all of the other programs out there, the weight always comes back, and usually it comes back with a vengeance, and we've all seen that happen. Not so with BioSlim. I urge you to not ever get back on the diet merry-go-round. It's a ride that you can't ever get off unless you're on a program like BioSlim. If you follow the BioSlim principles, if you really do this program, you must succeed. And once you succeed, you'll never go back, right? You'll never go back. So hang in there and do it. And please feel free to write me and let me know how things are going. I'd love to hear from you. And good luck and best of health.
Altogether now, I've lost 150 pounds. I feel wonderful, but this is the most that I have lost at any one time. And this is the slimmest that I've been as an adult. And I have BioSlim to thank for that.
I lost 50 pounds. The initial weight loss was about 45 pounds and 5 dress sizes in about 3 months. It was fantastic.
I'm alive. You know, I came to life. I'm happy, I have energy, I'm healthy, I have an incredible social life. I look beautiful and thin and I feel sexy, and it's just an incredible program and I love it, and it's changed my life. BioSlim really has.
I've been on BioSlim for 6 months. I've lost 40 pounds and I think it's fabulous.
It was a miracle that it all happened, and it all happened very quickly. It was like somebody answered a prayer.
BioSlim is magic. This is so easy. This can't be working, but it is. You know, it's a miracle.
You'll feel great. You're not going to be deprived. You're going to be eating great food. You're going to be losing weight and feeling great. I think it's, I don't know, your last chance to turn your life around.
With twins, even strangers, they come up to me and they say, "These are your 2 babies? I can't believe you had twins. You're so thin. How do you stay so thin?" But on BioSlim, it was so easy. They can't believe it. I have a niece who had 1 baby a year ago, and she's amazed that I was able to do it. She asks me every time she sees me, "How do you survive with these babies?" is what she says.
If you have any comments or questions you wish to write to us about, send your letters to the address shown on your screen. And please feel free to lend this tape to any family member or friend who wants to know more about BioSlim.